Welcome to Why They Play the Game, a show created to discuss the NBA on and off the court. I am Michael Eric Owens.
And I'm Ken Hayes.
Man, Ken, what has happened in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, bruh?
Oh man, I think the Milwaukee fans kind of like what has gone on here that Dame time is coming to Milwaukee. Matter of
Folks,
fact, Mike, at 2 o'clock they're gonna be introducing them at the Fiserv Forum, and from what I can tell, there's gonna be a lot of people heading down that way. So
man, Ken, listen, when I saw the parade they was going to have today, folks, we are talking about Damian Lillard becoming a Milwaukee Bucks, and we're gonna get into this discussion. But before we do that, folks, hit that like button, subscribe, and that notification button so we can hit you with all this topic. And we want you to be part of this discussion. So
big,
subscribe and hit that
right.
notification button and like it, and comment. We want to hear your initial thoughts. Ken, did you see this coming?
I didn't see it coming, but we talked about this in some previous shows that you know Portland would be get more out of trading Dame to, let's just say, maybe Boston, Milwaukee, or let's just say um, a top 1, 2, 3 contender. You know, if he wants to win the championship, we said that you might as well trade him to, let's just say, Boston or
Mm,
Milwaukee, or somewhere that has a shot at winning the championship for the 23-24 season. So, but did I see this coming? No, because
no.
the thing about it is that you felt like the Bucks were, pretty set in place. Maybe needed a few pieces to get younger, to compete for first off the Eastern Conference, and then move into that championship contention. But the
Yeah.
thing about it is that and I know we're going to talk about it. The cornerstones were Giannis and Jrue. There was speculations about, if Chris is going to sign this extension, that got taken care of. So, he got 3 years out of that. So you would think that if the Bucks were going to make a move, it would have been Chris. I mean, you trade away your best on-ball defender, probably in
Yeah.
the top 5 in defensive player in the league. So
Yeah.
that's huge. No, I did not see this coming. Am I glad?
Yeah.
Am I happy? Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
So, what you
Yeah.
think?
Ken, I'm the same, man. When I saw the news, I was like, what? I was like, you gotta be kidding me, man. Dame time is coming to Brew City. And, at first, of course, losing Drew. Drew
Oh,
was part of the family, man, and he's a heck of a player, a warrior, somebody that, I thought was very loyal to the organization and to the city.
oh
He
yeah,
did
definitely.
a lot of charitable works, him and his wife, and I applaud them for that. But at the end of the day, it comes down to business.
Right.
And man, you just can't, I mean, because, giving away uh Grayson Allen was, you know, I
That's
mean,
that's a.
okay.
I won't say it's a gimme, but we're gonna throw that in there too. But
You know what I mean? So that didn't hurt at all. But Drew, I agree, Ken, but Chris wouldn't have been the right move because, Chris played that 2 position. You
right,
needed to swap that 1 if Dame was gonna come. So the choice was really keep Drew or take Dame. And I just think when you look at, and we'll get into here what does the Bucks look like with Dame Lillard, but I just think when you look back at that Miami series when Chris was not, and Chris
100%.
actually, yeah, but he actually did not play bad during that
Oh
series. Matter
no,
of
he
fact, Chris
didn't.
was a signing kind of thing. When Giannis got hurt out 2.5 games, Drew was kind of up and down. He was getting cooked by Jimmy. You didn't have nobody. There was no scoring. There was no see. This is where Dame Lillard becomes a huge factor for the Bucks because he is a bucket getter. I mean, from three, from going to the hole, from dishing. So he's going to create so many, I think, opportunities for himself, but for others, when all they had to do was say, okay, Giannis is not 100%. Chris Middleton is cooking a little bit, but who's going to beat us? And I think that's been, but Ken, you and I have talked about this. The Bucks needed a dude that could come along and get a bucket. Haven't we been
Right.
talking about
We've been
that
saying
for,
this for the longest.
for the longest, man? Like, get somebody, and Chris can to a certain extent, but you cannot. Okay, and let me just ask you this question. So you facing the Bucks, and this is prior to Damian and Lillard. You probably walking into that game thinking you probably know what you're gonna get from Giannis, correct?
Right.
Do you know what you're gonna get from Chris?
Uh, I would say but it could be at the extreme or it could be in the other way. I mean, the thing about let's just say he gonna give you between 16 and 22 points per game, somewhere in between that. Um, and if he's feeling it, he may get you like 28, 30,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
let's just say
yeah,
on a really good night.
yeah.
I think that what I always said, I thought Jrue was just being a little bit selfish. I thought he should have been a little bit more aggressive as far as
Mm,
his shot take and going to
yeah.
the basket because they're gonna try to clamp down on Giannis and Chris. So with Dame, there's no you can't clamp down because like you said, the three or going to the basket, maybe coming off a pick. So that gives them a little bit more versatility as far as their offense is concerned.
Man, he's gonna spread the offense out, Ken. Like and what people are saying, which is rightfully so, bruh, this pick and roll between him and Giannis, I don't know how you defend it.
Yeah,
And in the
that's
fourth quarter, when it comes down to the game, I don't know how you defend it, man. Because if you let Giannis roll to the basket,
it's
that's a
over.
dunk.
Right.
If you roll with Giannis, Dame's at the
That's
top.
that's a
And if you
three.
exactly, and if you flow at Dame, you got Chris over there. You see what I'm saying? You might have Beasley over there. You might
Yeah,
have. I mean,
Brooke.
it is. It's going.
So it's right.
It's their offense is gonna look, and I don't. Okay, so we know the offense is gonna improve. They were middle. I think they were like 14th last year in offense.
Yeah, 14, 15.
Okay, so that's not gonna get it done. Okay, you have to increase your scoring. And we just couldn't get it done with the inconsistency of Chris because of his injuries. Because man, listen, if we get a healthy Chris Middleton, man, it's over, bro. If Chris, you get a healthy Chris Middleton, it's over, man, because people have forgotten just how good that dude is because he's been hurt these last couple years.
And I think a lot of people have soured on him
Mm,
because when there was rumors about him being traded, I saw a lot of posting like, like the, good guy, but
yeah.
I want to bring somebody else in. For me, I like Chris. I mean,
Mm,
solid guy on both ends of the court, defense and offense. I said this too. I think he should be more aggressive as far as
yeah.
his shots are concerned. But that's here or there. I just think that with the with Jrue leaving, now we got to talk about on the defense side.
Yeah, and before we leave Chris, it's going to be easier for Chris now.
It
Yeah,
is,
he,
and
he
because
doesn't have to be the two, right?
right. And the thing about it is that I think that I think it's going to be easier. I'm gonna call them the big three. That Giannis doesn't have to play. Let's just say out of the 48 minutes, he 42, 43. Um, you got Chris and Dame who can score. And it's not like they don't have any other players that's on the
That
team
is correct.
so that ease as far as I'm gonna say playing time to reduce that for all three of them because they getting up in age and things like that. I think that to me that's the key
Yeah.
because Giannis, I just think that last year he played too many minutes. They were up 13, 15, 17 points in the third quarter. You look around, fourth quarter come before even the midpoint of the fourth quarter, they only up by 1 or 3 or down by 5 or something like that. That to me, that was just ridiculous. But new
Yeah.
coach also.
Yeah, I mean, this is exciting time for the Bucks. This is, if you want to say when should this blockbuster trade have happened, this is the right. It should not have happened under Budenholzer. Okay, you know what? No, we needed. Listen, we needed a shot in the arm. But on the side note, do you think the pressure from Giannis saying, "Look, I don't know if I'm gonna sign this. Y'all, I don't know if y'all are committed to the long haul. Like, y'all gotta show me something." Do you think that pressure of him, leaving and all of because man, the media just jumped on that, Ken. They were
I
all
know.
over.
Yeah, they
I
was all
saw
right.
dude in every jersey there is out there, man. I'm
New
like, man,
York, LA,
exactly.
Miami.
Even our hater, Stephen A. Smith.
Oh man,
Even the hater, man. And I'm gonna tell you what, Stephen need to keep Milwaukee out of his mouth, man, because the stuff he's talking, like Milwaukee is this place, man, where nobody wants to be, man. That's not cool, man. So
But the thing about it, I'm gonna just take a step back, man. We saw a lot of the pundits say that before this trade happened, oh Dame should go to Miami or maybe Boston. Like Jalen Rose said it the best. Why is it that let's just say superstars who have not gotten to that pinnacle of getting a championship, they need to go to the the best team or LA that that it has to happen. And Jalen said, I'm so happy that he went to Milwaukee because he said Dame and Giannis, two superstars who stuck with small market teams and didn't leave.
yeah.
And they came together. So
Yeah, I love it, man.
but
And
let me say this real quick. I hate to interrupt you, Mike.
No,
Is
go
that
ahead.
when I saw Stephen A, he acted like he was mad that Dame got traded to Milwaukee. I was like,
was mad.
come on.
He was
I'm
mad.
like, man, come on.
This is what I'm gonna say. From all the commentary I've heard from Stephen A, when he even gives Giannis accolades, it is in a monotone. It's no excitement. It's no passion behind it. For some reason, man, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a personality thing. Maybe it's because he's not American. I don't know what it is. But he has an issue with Giannis. He never gives Giannis. And it's the same thing with Skip Bayless. Always going to have an issue. I mean, Giannis could win 5 MVPs in a row. They're always going to try to criticize him. I don't know what it is, but Stephen A is a Bucks hater. You heard it here on Why They Play the Game. You can listen. You can send this to Stephen A. You can add Why They Play the Game, because I'm telling you, this dude just don't have you. Man, you know what I can say? I can say to you, yeah, you look nice today. Or I can say to you, wow, you look nice today. There's a difference, man. Even in the tone, even in the, so you can say, yeah, he said some good things. Man, he ain't said it in a passionate, authentic way about Giannis, man. And it bothers me to hear that dude even talk about Milwaukee, because it's not a balanced assessment, man.
Oh, definitely. Well, let me ask this, Mike. Who's the biggest loser in this trade?
Oh, Miami.
Okay.
Miami by no, because see, this is what Miami, I feel like, and I've been listening to some Heat podcasts and
really?
listening. Oh yeah, man. I Ken, you talk about some fans that's hurt. Oh, Ken, these folks are hurt, man, saying Pat Riley dropped the ball. Why didn't the Heat go in more? And the fact that it went to our rival, they are not happy. What they're hoping, and we can transition here in just a second, what they're hoping now is to get Jrue Holiday. But
Okay.
Miami, to me, is the biggest loser in this, man, because they thought they had Dame locked up. But to me, like we talked about, Ken, one time on one of our shows, we talked about would Dame be better in Milwaukee? And the
Right.
truth is, he would have to work harder in Miami than he does in you're playing with a Finals MVP, 2 times MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. You're playing with Middleton, who is an all-star. You're playing with the runner-up Defensive Player of the Year in Lopez. Come on, like
Yeah.
he and the beautiful thing is Dame has never been in a situation where he's been able to play with this caliber of talent.
Right.
And I
Correct.
think we're just going to see his game evolve. I think he's going to work on the defensive end. I think things are going to change because he's never had, he just been the dude.
Right.
So, man, and he, matter of fact, Gilbert Arenas, as much as I hate to even quote him, but Dame, I guess him and Dame are good friends, man. And Dame hit him with a text, man. And Dame basically said, I'm paraphrasing, that people have doubted him a long time, man. He's happy to be in Milwaukee. He's happy to show folks that he need to be up in those conversations with the greatest point guards of all time. Dame, when we talked on the phone briefly, I had mentioned to you that Dame has something to prove. And man, I'm telling you, he is. I've always been a Dame Lillard fan.
I know.
I've
So
always
you was probably
loved Dame,
jumping up and
man.
down, huh?
Man, bruh, I was like, we got dollar. I start tapping my wrist. So, man, let me ask you, where do you think? Well, let me ask you that question back to you. Who you think is a loser in the trade?
I would say, and I'm not going to steal your thunder. I mean, I think Miami is a loser, but I'm going to say Ayton is the biggest loser in all this
You think
because
so?
and the reason why I say this is that you figure Phoenix is going to compete for a championship this year.
Yeah,
When I
that's
say,
true.
they may not get to the finals, but they're going to compete.
That is true.
With all that talent they got over there, they better compete.
Yeah.
Portland is not going to compete for any championship. And I don't know what the conflict between Ayton and Phoenix was. I don't know. Is it with the organization or was it just with the coach? But yeah, now he's with Portland.
Chauncey Billups.
He's right. He's gonna get. We definitely know he's gonna get more shots. Probably average will go up, but he ain't gonna be in that category of competing. Not with Portland.
Yeah, he was. And your point, man, I didn't even think about that. That perspective is so good, man, because the thing is, yeah, he was on the short list and now he on the long list.
Right.
Hey, Ken, he was up at the front. Somebody came and said, you got to go to the back. You ain't got to write paperwork. He was at the DMV. They sent him back. And you know how that is.
Oh, man.
It's going to be a long time before they call your number.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good, wow. Yeah, that's a good point, man. And wow. Yeah, but I just think they wanted more physicality down there. And I just don't think he could give it to him. I think they wanted him to be the type of player that he's not. Now, with Scoop, doing them alley oops and you know what I mean, like being more active on the inside, it might fit his game better. But we do know Portland, you don't even need to talk about Portland right now, bro. Right. That's the weight of our listeners' ears at this at this moment. So who do you think Jrue Holiday is gonna go to?
I would say he would be a better fit with the Clippers than anybody else.
With Russell there?
it's time for Russell to take let's just say a step back. I mean, he's near the end of his career. I
Mm.
think defensively, Jrue brings a lot, and the Clippers, they need some stability, as far as I'm concerned.
You know what?
And I think Jrue could give him that.
I would love to see him
Miami,
go to the Clippers.
Miami. I don't know if it would be such a great fit, but they could use him. I mean, who couldn't use Jrue Holiday as far as what he brings
Correct.
to the table? But
Exactly.
I think for the Clippers to, let's just say, get in that competition of coming out of the West, they could use him. I think he would be the best fit with the Clippers.
I agree. I think that tandem with him along with Paul George and Kawhi, man, that's some toughness. That's some defense. And I think they complement them gang because I think Jrue needs to be the only reason why I wouldn't like to see him go to Miami just because of what kind of
All right.
transpired. But on top of that, um, I feel like he needs to be surrounded by more offense for him to really do his thing, right? For him to be that defensive guy. Anytime you say, Jrue, you need to go out there and get us 25 points, then
Yes.
you can't work like that on both ends of the court, man, like
Right.
as
That's
hard as he
tough.
does, right? Because he's holding the best dude, right?
Right.
So I think in the Clippers, organization, he has more of that where he can get 15, 16 points like he was getting here in Milwaukee. I think in Miami, he got to put up some numbers.
Right.
I think in Boston, I just don't know what you do with if you didn't have Derek White there. I would say that would be a great tandem with JT and Brown. However, with White there, now you really got 2 point guards. White's going to be in the game. Jrue's going to be in the game. So now you got some size, but I just don't feel like you have a better fit than you would with the Clippers. But Boston's trying to get him. Boston
Oh
wants to
yeah.
get him. Ooh, they want to get him because they want to try to get some secret sauce. You know what I mean? They want to try to get some insight into, how to stop Giannis. But the bottom line is, you ain't never seen what's coming. You
Right.
ain't never seen. What? It's gonna take them a minute. That's why I want fans to understand. Listen, folks, there is no quick fix. However, what I will say, I think it's going to be a very smooth transition, Ken, and you can speak on this and your perspective. The reason why I believe it's going to be a smooth transition because the Bucks players have been playing with each other for a very long time.
They have.
This is
Yeah.
this is not like, and we're not bringing in the number one guy. This is not
He's already
like
there.
KD. You see what I'm saying? KD going into Phoenix, and you see how they struggled in the playoffs with trying to figure out their roles. And no. You're coming in. We already got that dude there. So let's see, let's see what happens. But how do you think the transition? You think it's gonna be a difficult one, a seamless one?
I don't think it'd be a difficult one because I think, um, you got the big three, they're veteran players, and I think the team is more a veteran group than if you had a younger group. I think there would be some, let's just say, ups and downs with it, but I think it should be a smooth transition. Um, Dame is, let's just say, he's on the mission. I'll put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Giannis, um, I won't say more of a commitment, but he's, you got somebody else that can score at will anytime. So that takes a little pressure off of him too, that he can, be, let's just say, be a little bit more aggressive on both sides of the ball. And then the thing about it is that, um, when like again, when Giannis doesn't have to play those, let's just say, a lot of minutes, that
Mm-hmm.
gives him time to rest. So we won't see some of that load management again.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. And you do know them dudes like each other a lot.
yeah, because it was talk, let's just say 2 or 3 years ago, within a 2 3 year period, that uh about them playing together. So And then when Giannis was the captain of the All-Star team, his first
Who'd
pick
he
was
pick?
Dame. Dame. Right. So,
His not Jrue.
yeah.
It was Dame.
Dame. So
they, I mean, this man, both of these dudes are hungry, Ken. I'm so excited, man. We was already excited for the season. I was already
right.
excited for who they was bringing back and keeping the core together. Really excited for Chris for his opportunity to get back up in the saddle, man, and be an all-star. But, man, this Dame Lillard trade, man, has just run. It flipped the script, man, as we say back in the day, right? Yes, indeed, folks. And what you say, Ken, right now is happening. Right now, the
right.
parade is
Right.
going down in Milwaukee, man. And man, I saw that. I was watching WISN, Ken. I'm
Oh my
trying to
God.
peek out everything, bro. I caught it on YouTube, man. They was down in Pfizer Forum. They had his jersey already up.
Already.
I was like, man, that is crazy, man. Said ticket sales is out of control right
Right.
now.
Man, prices going up. I checked a couple of days ago. I'm like, man, these prices and just climbed up. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is just ridiculous.
Hey,
But I'm
bro,
still gonna go.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. Dame time. Bring that money to the city, baby.
Right.
That's what I'm saying, man. Bring that attention, that money, that love to the city, man. I'm excited, Ken. And we had to get on here and just wrap this thing up, man, because listen, folks, the training camp starts Monday.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Right. So
starts
it's
Monday. And Ken, I guess in closing, man, the crazy things that gonna happen within this weekend is the Jrue Holiday trade. That's gotta happen somehow. And then James Harden. What's gonna happen in Philly? I've even heard Drew's name even mentioned in Philly. You see what I'm saying?
ooh, man.
Because bruh, listen, if you Joel Embiid's gonna say, let me go.
Oh,
He
right.
oh,
In a
he,
heartbeat.
he ain't got no choice. I mean, because Philly is falling apart. So I think Philly is really desperate, man, to try to figure out how they can get Jrue Holiday.
Before we go off. So would you give up
Maxie?
yeah, Maxey for Jrue?
Nah, bro. And I'm gonna tell you why I wouldn't give up Maxey for Jrue. Jrue is what, 33? Maxey is 20 something. Okay, number one. Number two, Jrue done already told you he ain't playing for many more years. I mean,
he's gonna be a free agent at the end of the year.
Yeah, when he dropped that and said, "Listen, I'm not going to be playing for, I might retire in a year and a half." So, and I think that kind of helped Ken, to be honest with you, a little bit in the decision, not knowing whether or not Jrue was going to move on. And I'm not mad at him. He if he feels like he's reached his end of his career and he's done what he needs to do, more power to him, man, because he's a great human being. Him and his wife do amazing things. He's a great dad. Man, hey, go enjoy your life, bro. So I'm not mad at that. But from a business perspective, though, I'm kind of looking like that side-eye, man. I'm like, is this bro
But
going to be here? Is
but
he
I don't
going
know if he saw the post where he said he loved playing in Milwaukee and he wanted to spend the rest of his career there. So and that was like maybe a day after the trade happened.
Yeah. So I hate to see him go, man. Much love
me
to
too.
Jrue, man.
Yeah,
Much love
solid
to
brother.
Jrue, man.
Solid brother.
Exactly, folks. And as we always say, the world of sports unites us. Let us take this unity in our everyday life. This is why they play the game.